Hey everybody, it's Maranatha here, and I'm here to encourage you to do what you can with what you have. You have gifts about you that come naturally to you. You have talents. You have qualities about you that others don't have. Being empathetic, sympathetic, knowing how to care for other people, knowing how to get along with everybody in the room, knowing how to speak to people. All of these qualities about you, the qualities that you sometimes look down on when it comes to yourself because people use you for their own benefit, all these qualities mixed in with your talents and your gifts is what's going to make you unstoppable. It's what's going to cause you to be able to do what you love for a living. And in order to do that, you need to not be shamed about the things that you don't necessarily like about yourself. You need to love yourself, and you need to realize that what comes naturally to you is something that can really influence a lot of people, and it will also allow for people to appreciate who you are. And you have to give people that chance to be able to see who you are. A lot of times we suppress what comes naturally to us. We suppress our gifts because sometimes we're afraid of success. We're afraid of failure, and we don't think we're good enough. We have insecurities that we're still dealing with from a young age, that we're still dealing with in adulthood, to where we don't do the things that we love. We go to work for somebody else and we do something to help somebody else. But when it comes to something you love to do, you lack that same energy, that same push to want to do what you love to do. And you can't keep doing that another year. You have something about you that is great, something that you can change the world. You have dreams that you've had since you were a little girl or a little boy. You've had visions of those dreams of what you could do, what you can do, and you know you can do it because you've seen yourself do it in your dreams and visions. So you can do it. You just need to start. Stop putting yourself down and start realizing that you need to work on those gifts and those talents. Ask God to bring you the opportunities to be able to use those talents. And you need to stop putting yourself down because people use you because of the great person that you are. That's on them. But you can't keep putting yourself down saying, well, I don't want to do this because all people do is use me. You can't keep using that excuse. You got to know that there are other people in this world who are not going to do what other people did to you. You got to know that you got to move on. You got to know that what you have, somebody needs. Somebody needs a person like you with the qualities that you have, with the experience that you've been through, with your trauma, with your background. Somebody needs to know that God's people have passions, gifts, many different things that they do, and they love God just as much, and they're willing to do his will and do the gifts and the talents that he gave them. A lot of people in this world are searching for someone to follow. Our generation is searching for someone that it can influence them. Believe that. They're looking for someone to influence them, to teach them a way of life. And this is the perfect time for you to use what you have to help other people, to encourage other people, to give to other people what they need, what they're looking for, what they might not need right now, but they're going to need in the future. But if you don't try, if you don't work on what you're good at right now, if you don't do what comes naturally to you right now, how are you going to be able to even get to that point where you can say, I'm doing what I love every single day. My job is doing what I love. That's what I do every day. You don't want to just work and just let your dreams and your gifts lay doormat because you're afraid. The way this world is going, you should not be afraid anymore about what's inside of you. Yes, what's inside of you is great. What's inside of you can literally change someone's mind. Someone's mind about how they feel about themselves. someone's mind about how they see other people, that's what's inside of you. And it is scary and it is intimidating because you have a voice and you can use it. It's no time right now to be afraid of what's inside of you. The devil wants us to be afraid of what's on the outside, what's going on around us. And he's also attacking us, what's on the inside of us. If he can get both of those tactics to work on you, you are going to be a walking zombie on this earth. And I know you've seen a walking zombie before. I'm not talking about The Walking Dead. I'm talking about people that we can see every day, and you can look in their eyes and you see that they are in need of help of Jesus Christ, that they are in need of peace, love, joy. Those zombies. And the devil wants to turn us into one, but we're not going to let that happen. And we're going to also allow for God to use us, but we're also going to help other people and show them that there is another way, one step at a time, one experience at a time. Just leading by example. You need to do what God has called you to do. You know that. You know what it is. And if you need a refresher, think back onto when you were younger. What did you want to do when you were grown up? And if you're already doing that, continue to do that. And ask God to guide you on that journey of doing what you love, doing what you're doing. Ask God to continue to grow you in that area so that you can see fruit. You know, be fruitful and multiply. There needs to be fruit in our lives, that God is present and he is working and he is doing things in our lives. More fruit. But when we are not heeding to God's word and allowing for him to give us the strength and the courage to use our gifts, that fruit dies. The fruit gets rotten. You have to continually seek God and let him prune you and let him cleanse you and let him be able to do what he can do on your life so that your gifts and your talents and your qualities can be used for his glory. So they can be used in a way where you can live a life of rest. You want to live a life of rest. You don't want to live a life of hustle and bustle and always working down to the bone, always being tired, always not having enough time for your kids, always having enough time to be able to rest yourself, always having not enough time to do anything you love to do. That's the trick of the enemy. He wants to get us so busy on everything else, everybody else's problems, the world's issues, that we don't have time enough for God and we don't have time enough for our gifts and passions. And you know what that allows us to be? Fallen, lost. And you're going to wake up one day and realize, how did I get here? It's because you didn't seek God with all your heart and with all your mind and with all your soul and surrender everything that you have inside of you to him. In order to get the courage, you're going to need to ask God for it. Ask God for the courage to be able to be used. Ask God for the courage to be able to use your gifts and talents, for you to be able to get those and see those opportunities and take a hold of those opportunities. Yeah, you might be anxious, a little nervous at times, but eventually the more you do it, the better you're going to get at doing what it is you're meant to do. Yes, these gifts and these talents come naturally to us, but we still need courage. We still need strength. And that's one thing that you can get from God. Not liquid courage, not the courage of the world, but courage from God. Ask God for the courage to do what you are meant to do. Do what you gotta do. And start now. All right, that's all I got. I will see you all in my next video. Bye.